Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Canny Crystals, the podcast. I hope that you are all good. This week I have been really practicing what I preach and I've been getting up earlier in the morning. I've been doing my Peloton workout because nobody wants to do a workout later in the day. I've been listening to me subliminals, I've been meditating, I've been journaling. I'm back in the game. Let me tell you, this shit works. So back in January, if you listen to the pod regularly, you'll know that we finally got the baby boy of our dreams, and trust me when I say this, life with a baby is chaotic to say the very least. So on a morning, I'd end up getting out of bed, changing him, feeding him, playing with him, and then I'd put him down for a nap. Then I'd nip down the office to pack orders whilst Johnny looked after him for a couple of hours. Then I'd be home and it'd be time to cook me lunch. Then next it was the feeding time again, then it was change time again, then it was the next playtime, then it was another nap, then I'd be out walking JJ, me dog, then it'd be time to do it all over again, and then bedtime, and oh my god, I honestly think I just got into a rut for 4 whole months of that daily, day in, day out. And I'm not saying that my mental health was in tatters or anything like that, but I think I definitely wasn't looking after myself. And instead, I just felt like I was existing. Does that make sense? I know you mothers will understand this, but you'd almost just feel like you're just existing. And I just assumed that this is what life was like with a family. But last week, like I say, I started incorporating things back into my day and just getting back on the bike on my Peloton. That was one of the best things that I've done. Although it did fat shame me when I first jumped on. It said I hadn't logged in or done any form of exercise for 4 whole months. Oh my god. I started cooking meals from scratch again rather than just buying ready meals or ordering takeaways or just eating little snacky bits or the beige buffet as I call it. Things like chips, bread, nuggets, fish fingers, all the good stuff. I've started properly listening to subliminals daily again as well. And cleansing and using me crystals daily, incorporating 10 to 15 minutes of yoga a day. Really making an effort with friends more as well. And I feel like I'm finally getting back on top of where I was. And in turn, it's made me more productive and energetic with everything else. Who would have known? I should really listen to my own podcast sometimes. And in fact, in doing so, I've kind of manifested something that I've been putting off for ages. So my little dog, JJ, about December time, he started really, really limping around and we took him to the vets. It just came on really, really suddenly. So took him to the vets and the vet said, oh, it's probably just arthritis. He's old. I was like, well, he's not really old. He's 11. And dogs of his breed, they usually last until like 18, 20-year-olds. So I was like, he is only halfway through his life. Do not age my dog. So anyway, they sent us away, obviously, with this huge prescription of drugs and things to give him. And after about 2 months, nothing worked. Nothing was working. So anyway, I got a text from Sally, who is one of my students in Manifest with Ma, and she'd said to me, have you tried homeopathy and like homeopathic remedies and things? And I was like, oh my god, yeah, why didn't I even think of this? So I had a look at this thing called Move. I subscribed to that. We used that for 2 months. Then we took him back to the vets about something else because he was vomiting all the time. And the vet was like, oh yeah, how's his arthritis? Have you tried this instead? So I moved on to this other subscription service. At one point, I think I had 3 different subscription homeopathic remedy drugs coming to our house, as well as the kind of pain reliever that the vets were actually giving us. And then just last week, his mole on his neck, it basically cut open and it was bleeding. I won't bore you with that story. But Johnny took him to the vets to get it checked out. And in doing so, he just said, we want to basically get our dog seen to because it's horrible not seeing him being able to run around and things like that. Because every time we take him to the park, if he runs around for even like 5 minutes, he's hobbling for like a day and a half afterwards. So anyway, this vet was like, oh, I'm going to send you a referral basically to this vets and they are going to do the surgery for you, but they'll do like a scan and everything like that. And they told Johnny that it was going to be in the region of £6,000. Now, back in October, I thought to myself, how can I save a bit more money each month? And I cancelled JJ's dog insurance because I haven't used it in 10.5 years. So naturally, this all kicked off in December, 2 months later. We now can't get insurance or anything like that. So this £6,000 was to have this operation. They also told us it might be like 1,000 to 2,000 just to have the scans. So we were looking somewhere in the region of £7,000 to £8,000. And I was just putting it off for the cost reason. But the whole time I'm just thinking of my poor little dog. And so anyway, I was visualizing last week him running around, just enjoying himself, us being able to take him to the beach, and just have a really nice family day out and not have to worry about the consequences of him not being able to get up the stairs or in the car or, all the different things around the house. So anyway, we got a call the other day and the emergency vets had basically got this referral. And they said, oh, he's booked in for this Friday. And I was like, all right, how long is the appointment? And they said, it's half an hour. He'll get all these scans done and everything there. And we do require an upfront payment of £1,500. And I was like, oh, so you need the scan paying in full? And they turned around and they said, no, we don't need the scan paying in full. This is like half of the whole thing. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And they were like, oh yeah, he's booked in for surgery this Friday. My heart nearly dropped out my arse, honestly. And I was like, what? My baby's going in for an operation? And they were like, yep, this Friday. The whole cost is £3,000. So yes, it's still a lot of money, but it's less than half what we actually thought it was going to be. So I said to them, is there a payment plan for this? And they said, yep, we've got 12 months interest free. And I was like, okay, that's £250 a month. That's £125 each from me and Johnny. I was like, that is doable. So I've somehow manifested better health for my dog as well. So he's having surgery. God love him. Please pray for him because I'm very worried. You just hear loads of horror stories and things like that with vets, don't you? And it turns out anyway that it's his cruciate ligament that's actually been torn. It's nothing to do with arthritis. So all this medication, no wonder it's not been doing anything. Poor little bugger. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. So I've been making a lot more time at the moment for maybe a couple of hours of self-development per week as a minimum. And in doing so the other day, I was watching this video of an interview. It was probably from the early 90s, early noughties, I don't know. But it was with Jim Carrey, the actor. And he was talking about the law of attraction and how he believes that he manifested his entire career through manifestation. Now, I've seen this interview a few times, and you might have as well, but this one was a little longer than the one I would usually see on Instagram and TikTok, so you might be able to find it on YouTube. I'll try and find the link. If I can, I'll put it in the show notes. And in it, he spoke about something called the exchange method. So I was listening along, and it made me think about everything we do in manifestation and mindset, and how this method is really at the pinnacle of most of it. So naturally, I had to do a bit of research and release a podcast episode all about it. And voila. So in basic terms, the exchange method in manifesting is basically where you exchange something of value to receive something that you desire. So that principle kind of operates on the idea that to manifest your goals and desires, you've got to provide an offering or kind of perform an action that symbolically or practically aligns with what you want to attract. So that sounds pretty simple. So obviously we have to begin by defining what you want to manifest. So this could be a physical item, it could be a better relationship, it could be a career goal, money, or any other aspiration that you have. And then once we've got that nailed down and you've got really specific about what you actually want, you need to determine what you can offer in return. So this offering could be something like time. So you're not committing to a cause or a project or learning a new skill or volunteering. So you're giving up your time to get what you want in return. It could be effort. So, taking specific actions towards your goals, such as applying for jobs, networking, practicing a talent, whatever it is. So you're given effort. It could be resource. So it could be, donating money, donating items or other resources to a relevant cause or person. Or it could even be kind of like personal development, working on self-improvement, such as, overcoming fears, developing new habits, improving your mindset. That is you given something in exchange for something back in return. So in my Manifest and Money Masterclass, one of the lessons in there is about symbolic actions. And this relates to this too, because sometimes that exchange can be symbolic. For example, you might write a letter of gratitude. You might create a vision board. You might perform a ritual that represents your commitment and openness to receiving what you desire. And just like anything with the law of attraction, regularly engaging in that exchange process, showing dedication, belief in the manifestation process, all of that is consistency, and consistency will help you to reinforce your intentions and align your actions with your desires. So after making that exchange, you need to release any attachment to the outcome. So this is the letting go part. You need to trust that the universe, the higher power, your subconscious mind, that's all going to bring your desire to fruition in the right time and way. So what we do is we practice gratitude for what you already have and for the fulfillment of your desires, because gratitude really raises your vibration. It attracts more positive experiences into your life. So the exchange method, it just emphasizes that, manifesting isn't just about wishing or visualizing. It requires that active participation from yourselves. It, offers something valuable, something that is in alignment with your actions and your intentions. So if we go back to Jim Carrey, because, his story of using the exchange method to manifest his success is a well-known example of how intention, visualization, and concrete actions can all lead to these amazing and incredible outcomes that we can all get by doing it as well. So Jim had a clear vision of what he wanted to achieve in his career. So he aspired to become a successful and highly paid actor in Hollywood. He had a very specific goal of earning, I think it was $10 million for a role in a film. And in the early 1990s, when he was still a struggling actor, he used a powerful visualization technique to manifest his goal. So he also wrote himself a check for $10 million, and he dated it for Thanksgiving in 1995. And he added a note in the memo line for acting services rendered. So by him writing the check, that was his symbolic act of faith and intention. It represented his commitment to achieving his goal, but it also served as a tangible reminder of his aspirations. And that act also helped him to keep his vision vivid and, present in his mind. And by giving himself an end date, he knew it had to happen before then. So he didn't just rely solely on visualization and the symbolic act of writing the check. He worked tirelessly to improve his craft and, seize those opportunities that came his way. He was performing stand-up comedy. He took on smaller acting roles. He continuously honed his skills as a performer. But can you see that, this was all in alignment with where he wanted to be as a Hollywood actor? So he wasn't going out and looking for work as a butcher or a carpet fitter or a personal trainer, whatever it was. He had his sights set on being an actor and nothing else was going to cut it, okay? So all these little stepping stones, they helped him to eventually get to where he wanted to be. So throughout his journey, he faced loads of rejections and setbacks, and he speaks about it in this interview. However, he maintained that positive attitude and that unwavering belief in his potential. So his resilience and his determination were crucial components of that exchange. For example, he was willing to endure hardship, persist through difficulties in exchange of achieving his dream. And whilst he actively worked towards his goal, he also practiced the principle of letting go. So he didn't obsess over the outcome. He didn't constantly worry about whether his dreams would come true. Instead, he just simply trusted the process and he believed that his efforts would eventually pay off. Now, I've seen many other interviews with him as well, where he often speaks about the importance of maintaining a positive mindset and practicing gratitude. So by focusing on what he already had and appreciating the journey, he kept his vibration quite high and he attracted more positive experiences and opportunities to be grateful for. And then in 1994, just before the date that he had written on the check, his career took a significant turn. So if you're an 80s or a 90s baby, you'll remember he starred in many hit films like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, which was followed by, roles in The Mask, Dumb and Dumber. His success absolutely skyrocketed. And he eventually received offers that met and exceeded his $10 million goal. So looking back on that journey that he had, he often shares that story as an example of how powerful visualization, unwavering belief, and consistent action can lead to the manifestation of dreams. And his story is quite inspirational in that it teaches us to set clear intentions, take concrete actions, and trust in our ability to achieve our goals. So with all that in mind, from an outsider looking in, he took 7 steps. Number 1, he had a clear vision. He knew exactly what he wanted to achieve. Number 2, he took symbolic action. So he performed a symbolic act that represented his goal and he kept it present in his mind. Number 3 was consistent effort. So he worked continuously towards that goal, improving his skills and seizing opportunities. Number 4 was that he overcame challenges. So he stayed resilient and persistent despite all these setbacks. Number 5 was that he let it go, so he trusted the process. He avoided obsessing over the outcome. Number 6 was that he kept a positive attitude and practiced gratitude. And then the last, number 7, was that he celebrated his success. So acknowledge and reflect on your achievements. Share your story to inspire other people, just like Jim Carrey did. So his journey from a struggling actor to a Hollywood superstar, it showcases that transformative power of manifesting through the exchange method. And this method in manifesting, and let's say, for example, let's compare it to giving something up for Lent. Don't worry, I'm not going to get all religious on you all. Don't worry, because that's not who I am. But I do think that this, exchange or sacrifice of something has been around for centuries. So I'm just using Lent as an example. But during Lent, people intentionally give up certain luxuries or habits or behaviours as a form of sacrifice. I know, like my mum always used to say, she was giving up chocolate, and by day 2 she'd caved and she'd ate half the Easter eggs. This is done to reflect, repent and draw closer to spiritual values or God in Christianity, okay? Whereas in manifesting, we offer something such as value, time, effort, resource, and that is our sacrifice to align with our goals and intentions. So Lent requires self-discipline to abstain from certain pleasures or routines for a certain period. I think it's about 40 days usually. Whereas manifesting through exchange also demands self-discipline to consistently contribute efforts or sacrifices towards achieving a desired outcome. Does that kind of make sense? They're kind of the same thing. And also in Lent, the sacrifice made often leads to transformation, whether it's breaking a bad habit, developing new perspectives, or even enhancing your spiritual life. So through the exchange process, we would often experience that transformation. We would adopt new habits. We would acquire new skills. We would move closer to our aspirations. And at the end of Lent, the end result is that people often feel a sense of renewal or accomplishment or closer connection to their faith. Whereas with successful manifestation through exchange results, it's the realization of our desires. We have that accompanied sense of achievement and alignment with our goals. So in both practices, whether you do manifestation, like through the exchange method, or Lent, the core idea revolves around giving up something of value or importance to achieve that higher state of being. So whether it be spiritual enlightenment, personal growth, or achieving a specific goal. So let's take another example, giving charitable donations. That's a really good example of the exchange method in manifesting, because that act aligns closely with the concept of giving something up, in this case money, to manifest what you desire, which is underpinned by the spiritual rule that what we give out is what we get back. It's kind of like the law of karma. So when you donate to charity, you're giving up a portion of your financial resources, and that act of giving can be seen as a sacrifice because you're parting with money that you could have used for your own personal needs or wants. So before donating, you often have a clear intention behind that act. So it could be a desire to help people in need, it could be to support a cause that is close to your heart, or it could even just to be, to contribute to society because you want to. Donating money becomes that symbolic gesture of your commitment to these intentions. So it reflects your willingness to give up something valuable to you for a higher purpose. And I'm not saying to you all after this episode, go and donate money to a charity and you'll win the lottery tonight. But what I am saying is that it's quite a spiritual and symbolic act that you're sharing your resources, almost exchanging that energy. So let's think of it as decluttering, because when we declutter, 9 times out of 10, we'll take any unwanted clothes to the charity shop. So we're donating there. So the universe fills that void of a half-empty wardrobe, just like I mentioned in a past episode when I cleaned out my wardrobe. Johnny offered me one of his old coats that he'd barely worn, and it fit me perfectly. I wore it all last winter, in fact. I absolutely love it. That was an exchange. I gave up something, got rid of my clothes, and I got something in return. Donating regularly requires self-discipline and a genuine sense of generosity, though. I don't want people to go out and donate their life just because they think they're going to get something back in return. Doesn't work like that. It just means prioritizing the well-being of others and the causes that you care about, even when it might be financially challenging. So the act of giving enhances personal growth because that aligns your actions with your values. So that's going to reinforce a sense of empathy or compassion, or even like social responsibility. And those are essential traits for holistic development. So some of you might even go as far as saying, this isn't the law of attraction. This is the law of karma, like what I just mentioned. And that suggests that the energy that we put out into the universe through our thoughts, actions, and intentions, they come back to us in various forms. So by donating money or resources, you're sending out positive energy and a vibration of abundance, because that act signals to the universe that you have more than enough to share and you're open to receiving more. And the universe operates on a principle of balance. So when you give generously, you create a flow of energy that often returns to you, quite often in unexpected ways as well. So this could be through financial gain, personal satisfaction, opportunities, or just enhanced well-being. So charitable donations can manifest positive outcomes in your life. The goodwill and blessings from those you help can translate into positive experiences. So when you give with a pure heart and genuine intention, your actions amplify your desires. The universe responds to your energy by aligning circumstances and opportunities that will help you achieve your goals. So regular charitable giving reinforces those positive behavior patterns. And, it cultivates a mindset of gratitude, generosity, abundance, and that attracts similar energies back into your life. So just imagine that you aspire to grow your business. You decide to donate a portion of your profits to a local charity that maybe supports, underprivileged children. So you've set a clear intention to support that charity because you believe in their cause. You want to make a positive impact on your community. So you make a financial donation. You understand that that money could have been reinvested into your business. However, you trust in the positive energy you've given. So that act of donating brings you a sense of fulfillment and happiness. That raises your own personal vibration because you feel good about what you've just done. So the charity and its beneficiaries, they send you goodwill and blessings through their energy. And they are intangible yet powerful forms of positive energy. Okay, so over time, you notice that your business will then start to attract more clients, more partnerships and opportunities because you're open to that energy coming in. Does that kind of make sense? I feel like I'm waffling here. Anyway, that energy could be seen as the universe kind of reciprocating your generosity with abundance and growth in your business. And then as your business grows, you continue to donate a portion of your profits, reinforcing a cycle of positive energy and abundance in your life. I can't remember which country this is. It might be America. I don't know. Someone tell me. There'll probably be Americans listening to this. I think there is a country, and I can't think for my life which one it is, but they donate a portion of their wage directly to charity. I can't remember which country it is. Is it America? Is it Canada? Someone please let me know. It's like 5% or something like that. 5% of their wage, whereas here in the UK we would put it into a pension or something like that. They donate it to churches or charities or just people in their community. And this is why people do it, because it helps raise your wealth and abundance. And that is only donating, because there are so many ways that you can exchange energy or exchange services or resources and more. So I tested this little theory last week after thinking about what Jim had said in that interview. And firstly, I thought about all of the times in the past that I'd given up something in exchange of a better result. Almost like releasing something for a better outcome. You could look at it that way if you wanted to. And this might be as simple as giving up crappy food, like my beige buffet that I spoke about earlier, in exchange for a better body. Or giving up cigarettes or vaping for a healthier lifestyle. Or giving up negativity in exchange for a more grateful life. Does that kind of make sense? You're giving up something in exchange for something that's more in alignment with what you actually want in your life. So you can do this too, but what I did is I spent a quiet half hour just reflecting on what I truly want to manifest. And I wrote down my very specific goals in my journal. And when you do this, just be as detailed as possible, let the pen flow. So you might write, I want to manifest a new job as a marketing manager in a reputable company, earning a salary of £70,000 a year with opportunities for growth and a healthy work-life balance. So then, just like Jim Carrey, you're going to write yourself a check or a contract for your desired outcome and include a specific date such as 1 year from today and sign it, okay? So write a check for £70,000 for, marketing manager salary dated 1 year from today. I'm just using this marketing manager job as an example. Obviously, define it to yourself. Just adapt it as you want it to. But spend maybe 10 short minutes each day just visualizing yourself achieving that goal. So imagine the details, the office environment, your daily tasks, how your life would look, what feelings you would have of accomplishment, and follow this with affirmations that reinforce your belief. So you could say, I am a successful marketing manager. I'm thriving in my new role and I'm earning £70,000 per year. I love my job. And then you're going to break down your ultimate goal into smaller, manageable steps. So that's just creating you a plan for, say, the next 4 weeks, for example, with specific actions that you can take. So you could update your CV, you could research companies in marketing management, you could apply for jobs that week. Do you know what I'm saying? Things that are in alignment, so actions that are in alignment with your overarching goal. And then just dedicate time to improving your skills related to your goal. Enroll in an online course, attend workshops, read relevant books. You could even reach out to professionals in your field, connect with people on LinkedIn. You could attend virtual or in-person networking events, seek informational interviews, that kind of thing. Because that is you exchanging your time and your effort for something in return. So that's the key part. Find a way to give back or offer value to others, because that is the magic of the exchange method. So in my example, they could volunteer to mentor someone, or they could even just share their knowledge on social media, that kind of thing. They could start up a blog and share what they know. They are given their energy, their effort, their resource for something in return. Ultimately, it's all about that exchange of energy, whether it be knowledge, experience, resources. Offer it up and it'll come back to you, okay? And you exchanging your time to learn new things now like that, that'll result in you being rewarded with your desire in that area. So what I'm going to do with mine is I'm going to restart my daily gratitude journal, and I'm going to make sure that I do that daily. And every single day, I'm going to write down 3 things that I'm grateful for, focusing on both my current situation and my future goals. And I'm also going to surround myself with positivity. I'm going to declutter my space. I'm going to listen to some motivational podcasts, and I'm going to spend time with supportive people. That's me giving my energy, my focus, my resource to achieve my ultimate goals. And then at the end of those 4 weeks or so, I'll review my achievements over the past month. I'll celebrate my success, no matter how small. Because that plan just integrates the principles of the exchange method into daily activities. It emphasizes that clarity of desire, those symbolic gestures, that consistent effort, and maintaining that positive mindset as well. And when we follow those steps, you're going to actively participate in the manifestation process. You're going to align your actions with your intentions, and that is what's going to increase the likelihood of achieving your goals. So give some thought today after listening to this episode about what you can exchange in your life. Maybe you even want to declare it to the universe and say aloud, I'm going to give up smoking, and in return, I want £3,000 in my bank account by the end of the summer. Just give it a bash. What have you got to lose? What is the harm in trying? If you've enjoyed this episode, please leave me a rating or a review wherever you're listening to this podcast. I really would appreciate it. It really helps me out in ways that you can't even comprehend. And if you would like to take advantage of 10% off everything at cannycrystals.co.uk, the discount code is the word podcast. If you are listening to this on the weekend of Friday, 14th of June, 2024, my Achieving Your Goals workshop is 50% off this weekend. And the reason that I'm doing that is because we are coming up to 6 months since we initially set our goals in this 1 hour 45-minute workshop, where you get a free subliminal, a free meditation, a free workbook. And I just thought that this would be a really amazing time to reevaluate what we want going into the final 6 months of the year. Because a lot of people, they manifest everything the first 2 or 3 months. It's just like kind of New Year's resolutions as well. People stick to their New Year's resolutions for the first 2 to 3 months, and then they tail off. So once you get access to it, you will have access to it for life. The 50% code is mid-year. So MIDYEAR. It is only available this weekend. So if you're listening to this after Sunday the 16th of June, sorry. But to take advantage of this, head to cannycrystalsacademy.co.uk and click on the courses, click on Achieving Your Goals workshop. If you've already purchased this course, go back, redo it. Yes, it's 1 hour 45 minutes long, but you exchanging that time and giving focus to your goals, your intentions, your desires will help you manifest exactly what you want to in life. I hope that this episode landed exactly where it needed to today, and I will see you all next Friday for another episode. Thanks so much for listening, guys. Bye.